warm welcome to you all. I'm Sriram Subramanian, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's webinar on Bonds Express, which is IndiaBonds' investor education initiative. We at IndiaBonds are on a quest to make the fixed income industry more accessible, more transparent in it. One of the ways to do so is by conducting various investor education initiatives and corporate webinars where we simplify the fixed income market for you and also engage with some of the most distinguished leaders in the industry. In today's webinar, we interact with the management of Bajaj Finance Limited. And now, without any further ado, let me take the privilege to introduce our esteemed guest, Mr. Jitesh Sood. He's the national head for distribution of fixed deposit at Bajaj Finance Limited. And with over 25 years of experience of navigating the dynamic world of private banking, asset management, and wealth management, Mr. Jitesh has a unique blend of strategic thinking and practical experience. He's worked across JM Financial, ING, Private Banking, Kotak Mahindra, and ICICI Bank, to name a few. He's not just a numbers person, but understands the human element of business, building strong relationships, and fostering innovation within the industry. I'm confident you'll find his insights both valuable and very inspiring. Let's give a warm welcome, in fact, a warm virtual welcome to Mr. Jitesh.
Thank you so much, Sriram. Thank you for having me over. Really
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
sir.
Thanks for
Allow
the
me a
kind
few, sorry, sir. Allow me a few minutes to take you through, take you all through what is the buzz around FDs and the world of digital FDs, and a very basic 2-minute walkthrough of how booking FDs is very easy on IndiaBonds. Allow me to present my screen, sir. Now, what are digital fixed deposits? It's nothing but it's the same traditional fixed deposit, but with an option to facilitate it online. It's a simple investment where you deposit like a lump sum money with a bank or an NBFC for like a fixed tenure, and it offers you a fixed rate of interest, typically higher than a regular savings account, obviously, and making it a preferred choice for those seeking fixed returns. Now, digital FDs are almost the same as traditional FDs, but instead use digital platforms like IndiaBonds, Bajaj Finance to make it easier for you to access and actually use, right? Let me take you through the entire experience of how to invest in a digital FD on IndiaBonds. Just sharing my screen. Yes, thank you. So firstly, I would we would recommend that you come to indiabonds.com and obviously sign up. And once you've signed up, you go to the KYC section and finish your KYC. And we have the vision is to become a fixed income house, wherein we give investors a choice of bonds, and also with the introduction of digital FDs, right? Now, to book a digital FD, it's fairly seamless and very easy, fully digital, no offline things. Go to products and hover over to the fixed deposit and click on fixed deposit. You can compare various issuers here. And I just want to choose my tenure. You can choose 18 months, 24, 30. I want to choose 42 months, which is 3.5 years. Click on Bajaj Finance Open FD button. Now here, this is a very important screen for all the investors. So IndiaBonds gives you a comprehensive understanding of the entire FD instrument here by Bajaj Finance Limited. Now, a good thing is that the FD instrument is rated as AAA stable for Bajaj Finance Limited, both by CRISIL and ICRA, which are both Indian credit rating agencies. You get an interest rate of up to 8.85% per annum, depending on what your profiling is. If you're an existing FD investor or not, you first choose your amount. Let's say I want to put 5 lakhs as the amount. I will check, are you an FD investor, existing FD investor? Yes. If you're a senior citizen, you can tick mark this checkbox. Now, here is the option to check your payout terms. It is either monthly, quarterly, half yearly, annually, or at maturity. Now, the cumulative and non-cumulative part here is that your interest income on your FD is reinvested back in a cumulative FD. That's the only difference between non-cumulative and cumulative. And you just go, let's say I want the payout to be at maturity. Click on confirm and proceed. Yes. Although nominee addition is not mandatory as of now in FDs, but we highly recommend that you do because it's very, very important to add a nominee in case of any unforeseen circumstance, right? I'll check no. Now here, this is the next screen where we where we give you the bank details where you use this bank account for all your FD payments. This is the bank account that you use in order for your money to get debited and come to us. And obviously, after your FD maturity, your money gets credited back into the same bank account. So please verify your bank details very carefully. Verify your personal details. I think I'm missing a column or two here. Yes. Okay, I'll just choose here. I click on save and scroll down and check and verify again. I click on proceed to pay. Check all the details of declaration here. This is a normal process. We click on confirm and proceed. That's all. The order is created now, and this is the payment gateway that you get depending on what net banking you choose to, and that's all. This is how easy and seamless it is to actually open a digital FD on IndiaBond. And now over to you, sir, Mr. Jitesh.
Thank you so much, Sriram. Beautifully explained, and we are really excited to be on India Bonds platform. You know, one of the respected platforms with such a large customer presence, and specifically, you focus on debt and bonds portfolio. So we are really excited to begin this journey with your
Thank you so much, sir.
platform.
Thank you, sir.
And it's a, as you very rightly explained, it's a really easy process. Fixed deposit at one point in time, even banking for that matter, few years back used to be a difficult, it used to be a challenge. While you are going to give money and you're going to invest money, it used to be a challenge that you have to make an effort of going, filling up the form, etc. Now with the advent of time, it's just 2 minutes, as you showed. It is 2 minutes that you can book an FD.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll take this privilege to just, though you have already given a good brief about the organization, but I will dwell a little deeper to give comfort and to tell what Bajaj Finance is, and a very brief on the fixed deposit. If you can change the slide, please. So we are excited to collaborate with India Bonds. It marks a significant milestone in our journey. Uh, Next one, please. You can go to the next one. We'll index. So just to introduce you to the house, I'm sure many of us know Mr. Jamlanal Bajaj in 1926 started this Bajaj group. He was a great visionary industrialist of his time. We are talking 1926, way before independence. He was a very close confidant of Mahatma Gandhi. He even called him his adopted son. Mahatma Gandhi used to call him his adopted son, and he was a freedom fighter as well. So it is under his visionary that we are today what we are as a group. Next one, please. The financial arm of our group is called Bajaj Finserv Limited. It's a listed company. It's the India's largest deposit-taking NBFC. Bajaj Finserv is the largest deposit-taking NBFC of the country. More than 4,000 plus branches we have all over the country. 14,000 plus retail outlets we are present at. So Bajaj Finance specifically, was started in 2007 with, innovation, customer centricity, and trust remain our core philosophies with which we as a group have built our core philosophy, and that remains the core philosophy of Bajaj Finance as well. Mission is always to provide best in the class financial solutions and services to our customers. I mean, that's the only philosophy and mission which has brought us to the number one position today as we stand. As far as fixed deposit is concerned, we are present in 450 plus cities that we have presence, and we have investors across 450 plus cities across India. Next one, please. Just to give you a flavor of the organization, because a lot of people, a lot of investors know us as Bajaj Autos, Bajaj Chetak, Hamara Bajaj. I'm sure many of us have heard or experienced. My own first scooter that I purchased way back when I was a child was or a teenager, I must say, was Bajaj. So that's how we know the brand. But if we go, the parent company today, the listed arm is Bajaj Holdings and Investments Limited. Under that, we have Bajaj Finserv Limited, which is the parent of Bajaj Finance. And under Bajaj Finance, we have Bajaj Housing Finance, which is again a listed company, recently got listed, and Bajaj Financial Securities Limited. Then we have Bajaj Auto and Maharashtra Scooters and other businesses also, which is Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, Finserv Direct Limited, and Finserv Health. All these are under Bajaj Finserv only. So Bajaj Finance is the company that I am representing today, and we are talking about, which is the NBFC that operates in the country, the largest NBFC, so to say. Next slide, please. So shareholders, just to give you a brief perspective, who are the shareholders? While 54% plus remains with the promoters, they stay confident in the business. There is a substantial percentage. If you see on number 3, Government of Singapore has invested with us. We have FIs investing with us more than 20%. There are corporates, mutual funds, insurance companies, and then resident individuals and non-resident individuals who've invested with us. So that's the broader mix of the shareholding. The businesses that we are in, you would, I'm sure, broadly as an investor also, if you're investing in fixed deposit of the company or in any perspective, you would want to know. We have a product suite like any other NBFC, or rather one of the few NBFCs which is present in across the product suites, from consumer to SME to commercial lending, which includes loan against securities, ESOP financing, etc., to rural business, lifestyle financing, salaried personal loan, gold loans, microfinance, tractor finance, and there's a new business which is Bharat Mortgage that we have started, which is very small ticket, affordable housing loans. And then, of course, we have deposits. That's the business we are talking about today, retail term deposits and corporate deposits that we do. And then we have payments business, FASTag, Bajaj Prime is another rewards equivalent program that we run currently. And then there are partnerships like insurance, general insurance, life insurance, health insurance, pocket insurance, etc. that we do. So these are broadly the businesses that we have under Bajaj Finance, and then the subsidiaries, which are Bajaj Housing Finance and Bajaj Financial Securities Limited, that also do across products, LAS, loan against property and housing loan, etc. These are mortgage products, which is promoter funding also, the builder funding as well as the retail funding. Yes, next slide, please. Just to give you a flavor of the company, how the company has been performing. This is Q2 FY25 quarter 2 ended, which is the official declared figures. Delivered an AUM growth of 19,732 crores, and 9.69 million new loans were added in quarter 2. The AUM today, I mean, at the end of quarter 2, stood at 373,000 crores of assets under management, which was 29% growth from the previous quarter. And profit before tax grew by 14%, 5,400 crores profit. Profit after tax was 4,000 crore, which also grew by 13%. Return on equity, the company has delivered 19% plus return on equity. Net NPA, which is one very important factor, which as an investor, if somebody is wanting to associate with the company, would be interested in knowing, is only 0.46% end of quarter 2. And another very, very important factor, which I have specifically highlighted in blue color, there's a liquidity buffer which company likes to keep for any contingency to pay off the people who have invested with us in any form or shape. 20,000 plus crores is lying in liquidity buffer, which we keep at any point in time. And capital adequacy ratio, which NBFC is generally required to have a 15% capital adequacy ratio, we maintain a capital adequacy ratio of 21.69%. So this is broadly, this is as end of quarter 2. I'll also give a brief on quarter 3, though it's we have already declared to the regulator, so I'm taking the liberty of sharing this with you since we are meeting online. Next slide, please. So we grew by 28% YOY growth. We got, this is quarter 3 figures, 3.98 lakh crores of assets under management as we stand today. AUM grew approximately by 24,100 crores in the third quarter alone, and the deposit book today stands at 68,800 crore, which again grew by 19%. Talking about the loan book, it is 12.6 million, which is the highest ever recorded growth that we've had, is 22% that we generated in quarter 3. Customer base today stands at 97.12 million. We generally use million, so just to give a simple Indian flavor, 9 crore customers ki hum baat kar rahe hain. We have 9 crore plus customer base today, which used to be 8 crore last quarter. So highest ever quarterly increase in even the customer base. 5.3 million, 50 lakh customers have gotten added in this quarter alone. So this is just to give a perspective, the confidence that and the reach that we have with the customer base, or with the citizen of India, is what I'm trying to share here. Next slide, please. So just to give you a flavor of how the company has done over 17 years, 2007, as I mentioned, that we started the business. We have had a CAGR growth, compounded annual growth rate, of about, loan book has been growing year on year for the last 17 years by around 25%. साल दर साल हम 25% से ग्रो किए हैं, एवरेज ग्रोथ जो कंपनी ने जनरेट किया है. एंड 34% कस्टमर फ्रेंचाइजी ग्रोथ रहा है साल बर साल पिछले 17 सालों में. And this includes good years, bad years, where the country has gone through, company has gone through COVID, all those things taken into account. Net of it, this is the kind of growth we have generated. AUM growth of 36% that we have generated, and profit before tax and profit after tax has been growing on an average compounded annual growth rate of 50% year on year. That's the kind of return that we have generated for our investors. And return of equity has grown by 22.1%. And net NPA, as on that date, this is end of financial year, I'm talking about FY24, was 0.37%. Next slide, please. So having given you a broader flavor of what the group stands for and what the company is, what's the customer reach, and what's the kind of growth we have envisaged over the last 17 years. Now coming specifically to the purpose of this connect today, that we want to talk about Bajaj Finance fixed deposits. So just to reiterate, we are the largest deposit taking NBFC of the country. Not all the NBFCs are allowed to take deposits as well. We are one of the deposit taking NBFCs in the country. We have a deposit customer base of 5.7 lakh plus as we talk, and 42,000 plus deposit partner franchisees, partners who reach out to the customers. There are 42,000 plus partners who work, are associated with us, work closely with us, distributing our fixed deposit. 15.6 lakh deposits we hold today. Next slide, please. So we are end-to-end online. These are few broader, why you would want to trust Bajaj. It's AAA rated, as nicely mentioned by my friend Sriram here. We are AAA stable rated by two of the large rating agencies in the country, independent rating agencies. More than 100 years of legacy Bajaj Group holds. We all know Bajaj Group. I think group needs no introduction. And with the advent of technology, we are end-to-end online, completely online journey, which we just saw again. Sriram has shown the journey is easy. Attractive rate of interest, despite being the largest NBFC and AAA rated, we still believe in giving a good rate of interest, which we give to our investors. Flexible interest rate payout options are there, which also Sriram had just shared. There is monthly, quarterly, or cumulative options. They are all possible there. And there are special tenures where we give special rates, like 42 months is one of the products which Sriram had shown. And it's as far as NBFC is concerned, we're 35 years old. So that is the trust that one can have in the Bajaj fixed deposit. Next slide, please. This is how the book growth had been for the Bajaj fixed deposit business specifically. Fixed deposit was started in the year 2014. And from there on, it was, journey has been on a rise on a constant basis. Today we stand at 68,800 crores, and we expect to be about 80,000 crores of book towards FY26 exit. Next one, please. So as to just to give you a perspective, customer base of 5.7 lakh plus. Very important to mention here when we are talking about a fixed deposit, just to a senior citizen is always very, very conservative when he looks at his investment. Salaried up, somebody who's worked at a senior position, knows, understands the rights and wrongs, very cautious investor. The money that he has, this is all that he has, and he has to survive on that. So 41% of our deposit base, of our retail deposit base, is of senior citizens. Senior citizens, retired people give us that kind of confidence that 41% of our book is from the senior citizens alone. Individual to non-individual, so 97% is the individual book that we have. Number of investors, 97% is individual category, and active deposits are from around 1800 one cities where we are not even present, but there are active deposits that have come across various cities. Next slide, please. This also, I just mentioned that we have 42,000 plus partners as of FY24. Next slide, please. So we have IndiaBonds as one of the large partners. So from large to big partners keep joining in, and IndiaBonds has also shown interest, and we are now partnering together to grow and to contributing to growth of the organization. Now, important factor is when you are doing investments, risk management becomes one of the most essential financial, things that you have to see where you're investing your money. Okay, it is AAA rated, but what is the company doing? Risk management, one of the most essential part of any financial services business. So BFL has a very, very strong risk culture. In fact, you would have heard, maybe some of you, if you happen to hear our managing director, he always says we are in the business of managing risk. So we always have lived with a risk first approach. Company has continued to invest in talent, processes, emerging technologies, and on advanced risk management capabilities. That has been always the key focus for the company. Next slide, please. So talking about risk, credit risk, as I mentioned, 0.37%, NNPA, net not non-performing assets. And you can check most of the banks and even PSUs or even private banks. You go check the figures and you would know when I'm talking about 0.37% or 0.4%. This is just negligible. So that's the kind of quality of assets that we hold. So the money that you give as an investor, where we lend further, your money is safe and secured. Non-performing assets are negligible. And as far as our B2C, and we have taken several strong measures when the need had arisen. We were very so to say preempt in taking stronger decisions. Capital positions, as I mentioned earlier, also it's 22.52%. 15% is the CAR required, but we maintain 22% on that. And borrowing mix is very, very well diversified. We borrow from money markets, we borrow from banks. Deposits, deposit is one of our strategic deposit raising that we do through this particular route. Otherwise, we have banks and we have ECB, external commercial borrowings as well. In fact, we had recently raised $725 million. I'm sure you're aware, this was pretty much in the news, which is equivalent to 6,000 odd crores. And 5 to 8% of the borrowing as liquidity surplus is always retained over and above the mandated norms. So surpluses that we have, if something is not deployed, we invest in very, very safe options. GSEC, liquid funds, government. GSEC is Government of India securities or liquid funds, or leading bank deposits only. So we are very, very cautious where we park our surpluses, if at all there are. And a very well balanced asset and liability mix. I'll just share that with you in the subsequent slides. Please go on. Next slide. So this is the ALM asset liability mix that I was talking to you about. If you see, I mean, no need to, there are a lot of numbers, no need to go across all the numbers. Just see the bottom green, which is the cumulative mismatch. Mismatch is your outflow to inflow. The regulatory requirement, permissible cumulative gap. You can have a 10% gap. You can have 10% more outflows than your inflows in 1 to 7 days period. In 8 to 14 days period also, you can have a 20% gap. This is what the regulator allows any NBFC to do. But here we have rather a positive figure of 163%. So 10% negative is allowed. We are 163% positive, which means 173% differential than what is allowed. So 163% positive in 1 to 7 days period. Just to reiterate again, पैसा कितना देना है और कितना हमें आना है, the money that we as a company we are going to receive versus what we are going to pay, if at all there are any dues, maybe fixed deposit that are due, or some loans that we have taken from banks, if there are any dues or any installments that we have to pay, versus what we have to receive. Our receivables are 163% of the payables. कि अगर मेरे को 100 रुपया देना है तो मेरे पास 263 रुपया आ रहा है दूसरी साइड से. So this is from 1 to 7 days, from 8 to 14 days, it is about 143%, 15 to 30 days, and so on and so forth. Even up to 3 to 5 years, it is 31% positive. अगर आप 15 to 30 days की विंडो में देखो, we have more scope to even raise. 15 to 30 days की विंडो में रेगुलेटर आपको डिफाइन करते हैं आप बैंक से कितना पैसा रेज कर सकते हैं. So if we want to raise to maintain a liquidity coverage ratio, if we want to raise more, we have 47,000 further that we can raise, which will make the limit further positive. So that's the kind of positive figure that we maintain. So this is what I wanted to share. Next slide, please. A little too much data, but I thought it is important that if you are investing money, you should know with the company that you're investing in, it's a good brand, yes, but what are the financials? So this is the credit mix. If you see across, the bottom line shows the deposits, which is about 20% of our book. As I said, it is a very strategic fundraising for us. Otherwise, we have bank loans, which are much larger. We have NCDs, we have subordinate debt, we have short-term borrowings, and we have external commercial borrowings as well. So that's the kind of mix we have. So we are not dependent on the money coming from just one source. We have various sources and very, very well diversified from where we raise the funds as NBFC. Next slide, please. So broadly, this is it that I wanted to give a perspective on the fixed deposit business. We have another presentation. If Sriram, we can display that other, just to give a perspective on the product per se.
Yes,
if
sir.
that would help.
Yes, please.
So while you display that, so one thing I wanted to mention, we were talking about today the digital options. Today, we have two unique things that we have proposed or we have to offer for our clients. If you are doing a fixed deposit digitally, there's a unique proposition product available, which Sriram was just showing. 42 months is a unique product which is available only digitally. In the physical mode, it is not available. And there's a 30 basis points or 0.30% higher rate of interest, which is paid to an investor who comes through a digital platform. So the highest rate of interest to a senior citizen in 42 months is 8.85% in 42 months. For that special window is not available to an offline investor at all. So broadly, just to give you a perspective on the product features per se, this is, you can invest from 12 months to 60 months. There are, cumulative and non-cumulative options available. If you are okay to let your money stays to get cumulative rate of interest, you make slightly better rate of interest. But some investor who's looking at regular income, you can take the income on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, half yearly basis, or on an annual basis. These are various options available. Customer can invest for 12 to 60 months tenures. Various tenures are available. And at maturity, money is directly credited to the client's mentioned account, which when Sriram was showing the presentation, he showed you very clearly the bank account that you mentioned. The maturity proceeds if you have not opted for renewal, are automatically given to you in your bank account without any questions asked. It is not why I'm mentioning this. I'm sure many of you are aware, if we have some of our senior citizens also as our attendees today. एक समय हुआ करता था, आपने बैंक में एफडी कराया तो अगर आप मेच्योरिटी डेट पे नहीं पहुंचे बैंक के पास लेने के लिए, तो आपके लिए 15 दिन की या जो भी डिफरेंट बैंक्स की पॉलिसी होती है 3 महीने की या 15 दिन की रिन्यूअल कर देते थे ऑटोमेटिक। तो आप लेने गए, नहीं अभी तो नहीं मिल सकता, आप अब आपका रिन्यूअल हो गया, उस रिन्यूअल की मेच्योरिटी पे आइएगा। या तो वो यहाँ पे रिन्यूअल ऑटो रिन्यूअल नहीं करते वेरी कॉन्शियसली, वी गिव द मनी बैक इनटू द बैंक अकाउंट। Prematurity is available after initial 90 days. If you are really in need of funds, you can either take premature withdrawal or you can take loan against fixed deposit. After 90 days, you have both the options available. You can take a loan or you can withdraw. Minimum deposit is only 15,000. And just to mention, for 15,000 to 25,000 deposit, we again have a special rate for, for the real retail customers. We give them 0.25% 0.20% extra rate of interest on small ticket size as well. And senior citizens over the age of 60 years, we give 0.25% extra rate of interest. Next slide, please. So these are the rate of interest. These are for non-senior citizens. I mean, you can go through it, but highest rate as 42 months is mentioned at the top. This is available only to digital investors. This is the highest rate of interest. Otherwise, if you were not a digital investor, there are special periods 18, 22, 33, 44. Otherwise, other than these specific periods, there are ranges 12 to 14 months, 7.6%. But if you invest specifically for 18 months, you will get 8%. However, 15 to 23 other tenures is 7.7. So these are special tenures, 44 months being the highest, and from 33 to 60 months, you're making 8.3% rate of interest. But if you come to 42 months, if you are investing digitally, there's a special window available to you. You make 30 basis points extra. This is the cumulative basis. Then there are monthly and quarterly options available. Next slide, please. These are the rates for senior citizens, which I just mentioned, 25 basis extra. So that 8.6% in 42 months becomes 8.85% for senior citizens. And you can see these would be available when you go to IndiaBonds website. These rates would be available there as you decide the tenure. Next slide, please. So yeah, so these are other tenures for. I mean, we can go ahead. I mean, I explained that earlier. Yes, we can go ahead. That is it. So this is broadly from my side. Just wanted to give you a perspective and tell you about the product per se, about the company. If you have any questions that we can address, Sriram is there and I'm there. If we can address any of your questions, we'll be happy to do that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. This was a wonderful presentation. It was indeed very inspiring to hear about the company's journey, the growth trajectory specifically, and your vision for the future, of course. This has been a treasure trove of insights and learning opportunities for all of us, for all the audience, regardless of our industry or experience level. Most importantly, it was a delight to host you, sir. I see a few questions in the Q&A section. Plus, we have received a bunch of questions that I would like to answer, and also, sir, if you can answer them. I think one question by an anonymous attendee is using AI part of risk assessment by Bajaj?
Just to tell you, give you a perspective, as I said, that we are one of the early adopters of most of the technologies that are available. So yes, AI is one of the primary things that we are looking at, not only on the risk but on various other aspects of the business, including operations and various other aspects, including customer service and operations. So AI, yes, is one of the primary tools that we are trying to adopt.
Great, sir. Second question I can see is what are some key drivers behind the rapid growth in BFL assets under management, AUM, basically?
Okay,
Key drivers behind the rapid growth.
Though this is a question which is best addressed by the managing director in the investor presentation, and we have our investor presentations which happen on a quarterly basis. But still, since this has been asked, I'll give you a very brief one. There are two, three things. One, the company is very focused to giving right service, providing right products, two, managing risk very well, and three, let me tell you, and very candidly, it is always about the people. It's a people's organization. Bajaj Finance Limited, despite being known to be one of the most aggressive organizations in the country, the attrition in this company is the lowest in the industry. So I would not use this is a different platform. So you can read about it online or attend one of our investor presentations where our managing director addresses on a quarterly basis. You'll get more insight on that.
Thank you, sir. Another question. Nominee compulsory hai kya पूछ रहा है कोई? Mr. Sanket is asking this. While I think it's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended that you do a nominee assignment. Yes.
Just to add to that, Sriram, if I may add, even if at the time of booking an application, you decide you're not sure who you want to add, you can always add it subsequently, and it's a very simple process. You can go online and just add it. But
Great,
yes,
sir.
it is highly recommended. It is always safer for you and for your family to have a nominee, but it's not mandatory. It's neither mandatory and definitely not required at the time of booking application only. You can do it at a subsequent date as well.
Great, great. A few questions that we've received. Why book through IndiaBonds instead of directly with Bajaj? So I would like to take this question, sir. IndiaBonds is basically we are a full stack fixed income house. We also do bonds, and now we've started with FDs, and the rates are transparent. It's the same, but on IndiaBonds you get a seamless experience. And you get a variety of choices, other fixed income products also, which is why, yes, that's.
So just to give you a perspective that unlike our industry partners like mutual funds and all, there are discrimination in terms of rate when you invest directly versus you invest through a platform. That's not the case in case of a fixed deposit. You get the same rate of interest. You come directly or you come here. It is
Absolutely.
very clearly the same. There's no difference at whatsoever.
Absolutely, sir. Another question is, will the FDs be taxable? I think yes, FDs are taxable based on your income tax slabs. I think you'll have to check with your CA for that, for any other questions. Can I open multiple fixed deposits? Sir, if you'd like to answer.
Yes, you can open multiple fixed deposits. Absolutely. I mean, I'll just take the previous question as well on the taxation. Yes, and there is a TDS component as well. If you definitely have an option of submitting 15G and 15H. If you have that, TDS is not deducted. So on the next question, I'm sorry, you said was whether you can have multiple FDs. Yes, you can open multiple fixed deposits, different tenures. Like what I personally do, sometimes I know I have an insurance premium payment, the large premium payments. So if I have liquidity, I know next year premium has to be taken care of, which is 11 months away. So I may do 11-month FD, and then there's next year again. So I'll do 12 plus 11, 33 months fixed deposit. So I can do multiple tenures of different amounts. Absolutely, yes.
Great. Next question on the Q&A section is how the FD receipt would be sent to the client. What if it is lost on email? Then how to approach for duplicate receipt or premature closure? Okay. Just to add to this question, you would obviously, if you via IndiaBonds, you get the confirmation email instantly, and also you can go to the portfolio dashboard and check your investments regularly, and in order to check your cash flow, in order to check the entire investment process, right? If you would like to add to this,
you can
answer.
otherwise also you can write to us. There are various platforms. We are available everywhere. Bajaj is available, web, app, email, customer service, branches, anywhere you can reach out. So your investment is safe. You can reach out anywhere. So it's not that it's a bond with a stamp or a revenue stamp. You can always ask for a duplicate copy from any of the sources.
Great, sir. Next question would be, are there any hidden risks or fees associated with Bajaj FDs or any changes in interest rates during the tenure? There is no charges associated with booking an FD from either from IndiaBonds or Bajaj. IndiaBonds does not charge any commission to the investors. It is absolutely commission free. And to talk about the changes in interest rates, if even if the interest rates change, I think there is a reason why it's called fixed deposit or fixed return, right? So you will not be the rates once you've invested, it will not change.
Sriram, I can
You'll
hear this. This comes from a very matured investor who's investing in mutual funds and bonds, who understands mark-to-market changes and who understands that there are, portfolio management charges and management fee, other fee, M fee, O fee, etc. But no, in case of fixed deposit, there's nothing of that sort, and it's a contract. When you have fixed a deposit today, rate of interest is this. But yes, when you do a subsequent deposit, if on that day there's a different rate, that'll be applicable higher or lower.
absolutely, sir. Thank you. Uh, can I change the tenure after investing? Someone has asked, sir.
Not really, because as I said, it's a contract. But however, as far as liquidity is concerned, you have options of taking loan against fixed deposit from Bajaj Finance itself, or if otherwise somebody wants to premature, you can premature, but tenure unfortunately cannot be changed because that's a contract. I commit to you a certain rate of interest, you commit to me on a certain tenure, but liquidity is available. You can easily take a loan.
Great.
And in
Yes.
fact, taking loan makes more sense. You've paused it, used your fund, and you've put it back, and you again getting the same rate of interest which was committed to you.
Great, sir. Again, I have this question. This is the second time. Why offer FDs if you're already in bonds? So, IndiaBonds, we aim to be like a comprehensive fixed income platform, and we want to offer you diversification, catering to various different investment preferences. Of course, provide flexible tenures, right? So, yeah, that's the answer to your question. Mr. Pratik Agarwal has asked this question. What would be interest on load FD rate plus 1%? Load, I think he meant a loan. Loan, yes. What would be the interest on loan? He's asked. FD rate plus 1%? Question mark.
It's FD rate plus two. It's 2% is what is charged. It is defined by the regulator. It is very clearly defined by the regulator. RBI itself drives that, so it's 2% over and above that.
Got it, sir. I hope we've answered your question, Mr. Pratik and Suraj. Yes, I think, sir, we are almost done with the rest of the questions. I think we've already answered.
Sure.
And if you'd
That's
like
very
to,
nice.
yes, if you'd like to know more, you can always write to us. We'll be happy to cater to you. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking this opportunity and helping us understand. And thank you so much for your time, sir. And to all, we hope you enjoyed this as much as we did hosting it. We've come to the end of the webinar, so we'd now be ending the webinar. In case you have any questions, you can always write to us, call us, email us, and we'll get back to you. That's about it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Sriram. Thank you for inviting me over, and thank you each of the investors and viewers who joined us here. And I must say, one of the very, balanced questions. So it was positive. Listeners we had who were
Absolutely.
keen in listening and who brought in very relevant questions. And I hope we have been able to answer that. Otherwise, you can reach out anytime to IndiaBonds team or to us. We'll be happy to answer. Thank you so very much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Investments in debt securities, municipal debt securities, securitized debt instruments are subject to risks including delay and/or default in payment. Read all the offer-related documents carefully.